So next up, we have Arte Latino of New England, ALNE, a nonprofit bilingual arts group, is next up to perform poetry and storytelling for you. They also have a culture table where you can learn more about how they promote Latinx culture through theater, poetry, and performances. So make sure you check them out. I believe they're back here somewhere. Oh, over here, there we go. My buddy Alex. All right, so give it up for Arte Latino, please. Give it up, come on.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. So as our friend here was saying, we're Arte Latino of New England. We do a lot of performances, Spanish and bilingual. We do theater, performances, poetry festivals, and so forth. But one of the biggest things that we like to do is to promote literacy. So if you haven't visited our table back there yet, we do have some free books for families and for children. We have one book that's actually in Spanish and English, so it's bilingual. And then we have two books that are just in English. So if you haven't yet, please stop by and grab a book to take home. And if there are any educators in the room as well, please stop by and get some free books for your classrooms. So today, I'm actually going to read a little bit about one of the traditions in Puerto Rico. Anybody here from Puerto Rico? Yes, we have a few people. So I'm going to talk a little bit about a tradition called Vejigantes. Now this right here is one of the masks that is traditional to the Vejigante culture that we do in Puerto Rico. So every year around February, Carnival brings thousands of masqueraders to celebrate in the city streets of Latin America and Spain. Masquerades are also present during other significant fiestas throughout the year. But the Vejigantes of Ponce, which is in the south of the island, are the only masqueraders that celebrated in Puerto Rico for the entire month of February, before and after Carnival. Since 1858, people have been using their time off from school and work to dress in traditional costumes and papier-mâché masks resembling devilish animals. I'm going to read you a quick little story about a young man named Ramon who wanted to be a Vejigante himself. Ramon had a secret. For 9 afternoons and one night, Ramon had secretly made his first Vejigante costume. Just a few more stitches and it would be finished. Doña Ana, the best seamstress in El Barrio, had shown Ramon how to sew. By running errands for her, he saved many coins to buy his mask. Without a costume and a mask, you could not be a Vejigante. Ever since Ramon was little, he dreamt of masquerading with the bigger boys. They got to be Carnival Vejigantes for the entire month of February. Being too little to join them, he followed spellbound as he watched them play their pranks. As long as they were in disguise, no one could scold them. Oh, how Ramon wanted to be a Vejigante in El Gallo's group. They were known in El Barrio for their daring spirits. Once El Gallo had spotted Ramon, spying on him from a balcony. He chased Ramon for a while, shaking both vejigas in the air. But Ramon was small and swift and managed to escape. Through the early morning breeze, his mother's voice interrupted his daydream. Ramon, get up, she called. Come and help me with the chores. And when you are done, Doña Ana is waiting for you. Sí, Ramon answered, hiding his costume. Mama would never believe that he had found a way to be a Vejigante. After all, they could not afford a costume, and Mama was much too busy to make one. When he finished helping Mama, he raced out of the house into what he dreamt about for so long. Don't forget to buy flour, Mama called out to him. Down the street he ran. Hola, Doña Ana, called Ramon. My costume is finished, and just in time, too, Ana smiled. She landed him a costume to deliver to the mask maker and a tip for himself. As Ramon ran to Don Miguel's casita, he hoped he'd have enough to pay for the mask and the flour. When Ramon arrived, Don Miguel was hard at work. Is it finished yet? Ramon asked, handing Miguel a new costume. Ah, said Don Miguel, you really want to be a Vejigante, don't you? Don Miguel took down the mask that he had made for Ramon. It will be $6 even. He said, even Ramon looked at his brightly colored mask. Then he took out his coins. His eyes were filled with tears. I don't have enough, he whispered. Take the mask, Don Miguel said softly, and come back on Saturday to help me clean the workshop. Maybe I'll teach you how to make a mask too. Viva, cheered Ramon, admiring his new mask. And thank you, he called as he rushed out the gate. Ramon could barely sleep that night as he waited for the morning. At last, Carnival had arrived. With a big parade, a queen, a band, and vejigantes and terrifying masks as far as the eye could see, as had vejigas in their hands and bells in their capes. And best of all, Ramon was now one of them. Vejigante a la boya, Ramon chanted with the other vejigantes. Pan y cebolla, the other crowd answered back. Don Miguel, the mask maker, winked at Ramon from across the way. As Ramon weaved through the crowd, he passed his sisters and his mama. They looked at him curiously, but did not recognize him. Now he was free to play all kinds of tricks. Suddenly, he spotted El Gallo. Ramon followed El Gallo and his friends, and they strayed to the parade. They circled young girls and teased them with their vejigas. They rattled their vejigas loudly in a scary rhythm, all the way up the field to where the goats roam. They were there for many days, and looked and played with around. Ramon could be bold too, and when an old goat passed by, Ramon charged at it. Ramon did not know that this was the mean old goat that El Gallo and his friends respected. The goat charged at Ramon. Its horns caught his costume and tore it. He climbed the tree, and El Gallo and his friends looked in disbelief. They cheered with swift escape. Smiling and relieved, Ramon climbed down. Then he saw his costume that was all in shreds. With a deep sigh, Ramon took off his mask. Look, it's only Ramon, El Gallo said. You are small in size, Ramon, but big in courage. Ramon returned home, where Mama was waiting for him. So, you are a vejigante now, Ramon, she said. Not any longer, whispered Ramon. He told Mama about he had secretly made his own costume and how he was finally accepted in El Gallo's group. But now, with many days left in February to be a vejigante, he would ruin his last chance to be a vejigante without a disguise. He walked to his room and he still had to go to Don Miguel's to finish paying for his mask. But the costume was hopeless. There was no way to mend it. Mama came in the room with a warm piece of cake. She knelt down close to him, and as she threaded 2 needles and whispered in his ear, you, Ramon, of all people, should know that sometimes persistence is the key to your dreams. We will try to mend it this time together. Ramon smiled, then they each picked up a needle and sewed late into the night. So would you all like to see what Ramon's final costume looks like? Yes? So we're gonna have Alex is gonna bring up the final costume. We already have the mask, but you'll get a chance to see what the actual costume looks like. And this is Ramon's final costume.